Welcome to episode 13 of Degen Divas. I'm Deb.
I'm Julie, and we're here with the infamous Wendy O.
Hi. How's it going, love? Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you guys so much for having me. This is awesome. And also, too, we have to plug fantastic hamburger since 1979. This is awesome.
Some of the best chicken here. We had a D-Gods party here at one point. And so, yeah, if you're in Arcadia, come check out Fantastic Eats. Dr. Derivatives, thank you for opening your home to us.
Thank you so much.
So, yeah, we wanted to chat with you about all the fun stuff you're working on. You are such a huge contributor to the space, I feel like.
I'm just a mom.
You're just a mom. You're just like me. Just a mom.
I have a big dog and 2 cats, so I have my little animal. My friends call it.
Can you convince my daughter to let me get a cat? She won't let me get one.
Easily. I love cats.
I love a cat.
She would just bring a kitten home. How could she say no? But then
She'll fall in love eventually.
No. And you have your show that just came out today. I had no idea that was coming out today. I thought, oh, it's coming out, and I didn't know it was today.
Perfect day for the interview, right?
Perfect day for the killer interview. But yeah, Killer Whales dropped today. It's officially live on Hello Labs, and then which is a kind of a token gated experience. So can you actually believe that there is a Web3 project that is actually utilizing tokens that have utility? It's kind of like a Patreon experience. Like, you know, when you have a Patreon, you have to your subscribers, they get the podcast or the shows dropped early, like a week early. So that's basically the same concept as Hello Lab. So all the content on there, if you're a member or if you bought the episodes, you can go ahead and watch it first, and then it's going to be dropping other streaming platforms, which I can't talk about. There's one in particular, if they're able to broker that deal.
Yay. Oh my gosh, that would be amazing. So they maybe like big time, like not just like, yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. I mean, we'll see. Maybe.
Okay, I love that. I did look it up. So to watch the first episode, I have to actually connect my wallet, and then do I have to purchase the token to watch the episode?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, so I have to purchase that particular token.
Yeah, but just wait till it launches.
No, I want to support the cause.
No. Just
when is it actually supposed to launch?
I think like probably in about 2 months, like a month or two, something like that. I don't know exactly when they're like how they're doing it, because I'm just the entertainer. I'm just the entertainment of the show.
I mean, but okay, so the concept is kind of like the Shark Tank-esque.
Yeah. So this is the thing. A lot of people got really confused and they got really upset because they think that we're investing our own money. Right. And I mean, obviously, like after the projects have pitched and whatnot, if we like, we can link up, we can invest, we can, partner, work together. But the show is really about, you have to understand, this is for mainstream. Most people mainstream, they're like, especially American reality television. They are here for the entertainment, for the drama. They don't know what a blockchain is. They don't know what interoperable is. They don't care about tokenomics. So when we did the show, it was 100% entertainment based. We really dug into the backstories. And what we're doing is trying to get people excited about the backstories and some of the drama and the entertainment, the happy moments, the sad moments, and then hopefully get them to be excited about crypto and kind of find their footing that way. And there were certain words we couldn't say, like we would say, okay, NFT. And they're like, you can't say NFT. They're like, you have to say digital collectible, something like that.
Or even digital asset is probably a little too funky, right?
So we just wanted to keep it super simple, super easy to understand, just so that like everybody would be excited because of the drama and whatnot. But people got confused and they thought that we were going to be giving investment advice or investing. And we're just basically, the projects come up, they pitch to us, they tell their backstories, we get to hammer them, and then we decide if we want the project to sink or swim. And we can't give any investment advice because a lot of people don't understand, like this show is going to be global. It's going to be on a lot of different global streaming platforms, and there's different laws everywhere. Right. So people got confused because whatever. Yeah. But yeah, it's just going to be a lot of fun.
But I love that. So it's more of like you pitch your idea as a founder, as a developer, and we'll give you advice and kind of help, whether the project will do well or not, or...
Kind of. So we basically get to determine whether certain projects are going to sink or swim, whether we would invest in them, whether we like the concept. And we also kind of gave feedback and advice. And, there was a lot of arguing amongst the judges.
Of course. Now, like, if a project wanted to, like, go on it, is that, like, past due, or can they still, like, if they're interested in doing it?
So I signed on for season 2 and season 3. And so they're going to have an open time where people can, pitch their projects and whatnot. And then then we don't get to decide who's on the show. So basically, the producers and some of the guys affiliated with Hello Labs, they're the ones that are determining who gets to come on. And then we get a list, like how it worked last time is we got a list of the projects, and like we got to watch this little intro clip of them, and then we had to do our own due diligence on it. And then, then we didn't get to meet with them prior, like at all. So then the first time we saw them, and they didn't know that, it was a really crazy experience. So they didn't know exactly what judges they were going to get. So,
that's interesting.
yeah, they made blindfolded them and everything, like all kinds of stuff. But yeah, then they came out and then they pitched, and it was, it was fun.
Wow. So, and the judges that are for season 1, have most of them renewed for season 2 and 3?
I believe so. Yeah, I believe so. Again, like that, none of that is my decision. I'm just really honored to be able to be back on the show and have fun.
What was their experience before? Did they have a lot of footing in crypto? Did they have, like, I don't really know much about.
Producers?
Yes.
Okay, so Paul Caslin is a very well-known producer. They do a lot of, like he did the MTV VMAs, that type of stuff. Vince has done like countless shows, and the whole entire production team, like it's like original, like OG, like Hollywood entertainment style stuff. So these guys have a really big presence in entertainment, and they got in crypto, and they're like, we need to do something because there's not really good entertainment in crypto. Like we have a bunch of YouTube channels, which is fantastic, but we don't have any type of Hollywood grade production style.
Entertainment style.
Exactly.
Yeah, we actually were talking about that
Yeah.
recently. Yeah.
Which is fine. Like my show is just a YouTube channel. Like your guys' setup is more fancy than mine. Like I just got my camera and my microphone, and I'm just like, or sometimes I just use my phone. I'm like yelling into the oblivion. So we don't have anything that's like production, like like that type of stuff. So of course, like all the drama on Netflix where they're like calling out this project and doing these horrible documentaries about our industry. But this is going to be a feel-good show, and hopefully we can kind of change the public's perception of crypto in America.
That's awesome. So kind of like shifting narratives a bit. Like I got into space like 3.5 years ago, and I remember seeing you. I was like, oh my God, like a female YouTuber, like have absolutely been killing it. Like I've like looked up to you like my whole time in this space. Can you talk a little bit about your journey as to like what made you like have the push to start your own YouTube channel and kind of go about that journey?
So when I got into crypto, it was like very, very small, very, very niche. And I just was so excited because I worked in healthcare previously. I was so miserable at my job just because it was a corporate, and they started putting profit over people. And I was very close with a lot of my patients. Like most of them were HIV, AIDS positive. And that's an illness that somebody has to live with for their entire life. So I developed really close relationships with my patients, and I would fight like to get them care and all kinds of stuff. And corporate just became so money hungry, and it became like the original mission became kind of switched. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. So I just had my daughter. I heard about Bitcoin like 2011, but I was like, back then the internet was hard.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was hard. So and then in end of 2017, well in like 2017, I was very interested in like improving the quality of my life. I was like, I got to do something to change. So I quit my job. I was going back to school full time, and I called my daughter's father, and I said, I'm going to invest money in crypto or Bitcoin. He's like, okay, cool. I went to Coinbase. They had Ethereum, Litecoin, and that was it. And I just got super excited because this is cool. And then a family friend was like, you got to get on crypto Twitter. I was like, I hate social media. And then I went there and I saw these cartoon characters making all this money. I was like, and I saw them posting charts. Then I started looking into like technical analysis and what that meant. I was like, oh, this is all math back. Like I can figure this out because I have a math background. And then I was like, this is cool, but I want to meet more people. So then I started hosting my own meetups in like LA County area. And we started I started the channel for that reason, to like get to meet people and like just hang out and teach technical analysis and all that type of stuff.
Wow.
And other people contributed and helped. And then I started getting opportunities to like do interviews, like paid interviews and stuff. I was like, cool, like I just have to disclose I'm going to be to you. This is really awesome. So like, that's cool. So I did. And then it just kind of turned into this other thing. And
yeah,
that's a cool thing about it. Like, so funny because my daughter said, Mommy, why did you start YouTube? She said, did you want to be popular? I said, no. I says, and I quit that because this is a 7-year-old talking. And I'm thinking, well, that makes sense.
Because she doesn't remember you not having the YouTube, right? Like, you've always had it. Yeah.
I started, I think, spring of 2018. So that's all she knows is that's what Mommy does.
And that is like such a huge thing for kids. Like their whole life revolves around YouTube.
Yeah, she's so funny. She's like, I have a channel. And I'm like, that's awesome. Money's bad for you. But like, she has like 30 followers and subscribers, and it's just like family and friends. You know?
Yeah.
So we let her be creative, and she's a musician. So
Oh, I love. So what does she play? Yeah.
guitar.
Oh, that's adorable. Oh, I've seen the guitar. That little white guitar. Is that hers or is that yours?
No, that's his.
That's yours.
That's his. But she plays.
I love the way that room is set up. It's it just like, I don't know. I feel like I'm there with you. I don't know if anybody ever tells you, but like you really feel like you're there with you. And it feels like a one-on-one relationship that you have, like being somebody who actually watches the show. Like you're so personable and you're so honest. And then even when people are saying like, wow, you're rambling today or your ADD is going crazy, like you still just take it back to, I'm human, you know? And I love that.
So how have you been able, because I know for me, like I've never had really thick skin, and like being in this space, you really, really have to develop it. How has that been for you? Like, did it used to be really bad and you kind of got used to it, or?
Well, it's kind of like, so like putting yourself out. There's certain things that I share and that I don't share. I wish I could put my entire life out there, because I think that would probably help a lot of people. But at the same time, I know how ugly the world is. So it's like, it's kind of like, it's a double-edged sword. So it kind of depends. Some days are good days, other days are bad days. But at this point, I've been doing it so long, and I've been canceled for everything under the sun. So I'm just like, whatever. Like, you guys are going to get mad at me no matter what I do or say. So I'm just going to say it anyways. Just as long as, but the big thing for me is just as long as it's not going to embarrass my daughter later on. Yeah. That's why you won't see me with like a bikini picture or anything like that. It's not because I have a problem with it, but it's just me as a mom too. As a parent. Yeah, it's just like, I don't want her one day to go on the internet and be like, and see like horrible things being said about mom's body, and like just make her feel not good, you know?
Well, and the way that you approach it is you lead with your knowledge and your you know, and there's not a lot of females in the space that are knowledgeable and can speak on crypto and be charismatic. And for people like me, I was terrified to get on camera. Like I was weird about even getting on spaces.
It's hard. It's hard. Like even when I first did my YouTube, I was like people are like, oh, do you go back and watch your videos? Like I'm like, heck no, I don't. It's weird. Exactly. I don't go back. I don't watch it. Like I do my editing and that's it. But no, it is hard to be on camera. But at the same time, like I realize that there are some people that do care and that I am impacting them in a positive way. And that's kind of what I did in healthcare. Like I had a lower level job in healthcare. So it's like, if I can change somebody's life or impact somebody's life for the positive, because I've had people that have I have at least 2 people off the top of my head right now that I can vividly remember that have messaged me and say, I was homeless on the streets and you were one of the channels that helped me make money and figure it out. And I've gotten a lot of positive feedback with, you know, people about, you know, I was in a bad financial spot and you really helped me do X, Y, and Z, or I made $30,000. And it's just not me giving calls, it's me talking to them and explaining things to them. So that's another reason why I kept doing it, because if you can change one person's life, even if it's just something super small, then that's impacting a whole, like their families and their communities and their friends. So it's just better in the long run.
Yeah, my daughter had some health issues back in 2020 and she's still kind of recovering from those. And so my life was, I was a corporate woman, I worked in solar, and then I have a sick child now, and corporate America turned its back on a mom with a sick kid. I will never let that live down.
They definitely did. I felt this like when I was in the process of, when I was on maternity leave, I was still getting calls from my boss when I was making like $15 an hour. I'm like, are you serious? Like I'm trying to bond with my baby. Like, so I know, and it's really sad, and I hear a lot of back and forth about, you know, like, okay, well, they're not supposed to care about you because you're a single mom and this and that. I get that to an extent, but also too, it's like back, like let's say like 20 years ago, you would get a pension, you would get your health care paid, you would get all of these benefits, and then people would become more loyal, and it's just really sad that we do that. Yeah.
You weren't a number.
And it doesn't. And see, the thing is like it didn't matter if you were a single mom or whatnot back then, because they were paying enough and they were giving you enough benefits to where
the cost of living wasn't
exactly
crazy.
So it's just different today. A lot of companies don't care about people, and it's just really sad, because that's why we have such a high turnover rate, and that's also why, you know, it's part of the reason why we're in is people it just it just sucks. I'm sorry.
You empower women. Like you do. Obviously. Like
Yeah. You have us here who have
You
been
know, I
looking up to you
appreciate it.
for a
Yeah.
while.
No, I appreciate it. I'm just a mom, and I like talking about crypto because I think it helps people. And there's a lot of use cases for, just different people with different wants and needs. Like, there's one use case that's not popular to talk about, but I'm going to talk about it. But it's like, crypto is like a safe haven for people like to store your money properly. Like, there's so many different instances that like require people to actually be able to have their assets. And I'm not advocating for anything illegal, but at the same time, like, having assets stored securely and safely can change your life if you have to flee or you have to do something. And if you're listening and you're reading between the lines of what I'm saying, it's very, very, very important.
To be able to know that you can leave here and, like, I lived in Australia, I can appear in Australia and type in my seed phrase and it's all right there where I left it.
Yeah, and like,
it's amazing.
And one of the things too, like as a parent and as a fur parent, is that it's like, God forbid there's like an emergency in the household, there's a fire or there's something that happens. It's like you don't want to have to pick between like obviously everyone's going to pick their kids or their animals first, but at the same time that thought's still going to go.
Yeah, my money. Yeah.
My money under my mattress. Grandma's life savings is now up in smoke. Yeah.
To do that anymore. Just
Yeah.
as long as you name your seed phrase and you manage that properly, you can flee safely and not have to worry about money. Let's face it, the fire insurance isn't going to pay for like 6 months.
No. Or ever.
No, but I loved on your stream today. You always post stuff that's kind of controversial, and that's what I love about you. She's literally showing the president of El Salvador, was it the president of El Salvador?
Yeah.
Like driving here. And you're like, not that I'm condoning, but look at how they've done this and how their approach is. And I just love that you think outside of the box in terms of like, take the blinders off, because I feel like a lot of people in America get stuck in that, like, this is what's on TV and what everybody tells me.
Part of what it is that like we're so, and even like that other thing, like the other interview, which I won't say, but a lot of people are mad about it. You could still think somebody is a horrible person, but listen to an interview with them to get a perspective.
Right.
And to me, and I know it's a very controversial, it's a hot topic, but at the same time, like I want to hear all sides of the story, because number one, it's going to teach me. It's going to give me shed a little bit of additional light, and it's also going to force me to think about what's happening and look at some other factors too.
Right.
I don't condone anyone being anything bad, but at the same time, like I can't make a decision on something if I don't have all sides of the story.
Right.
Censorship is real. It's important. Like we're in crypto, we should have an open mind to hear things. Like we might not like it, but at the end of the day, if we're not hearing both sides of the story, that we're literally doing the same thing as the people that are trying to process.
The amount of people who try to cancel each other in this space is absolutely
well,
wild.
even in regular media too. Almost like, or not media, but like regular social media, like the beauty industry, or like it's annoying. I see like people trying to cancel each other, like in like web. I guess it's, I don't know. I just call it crypto Twitter.
Yeah.
I guess it's like NFT Twitter, Web3 Twitter. I'm like, you guys are so dumb. Like that's not even a reason I can't.
We're literally all on the same team, and then by trying to hurt one team, we're hurting ourselves. Is like,
problem is there's so much inner fighting within our industry. It's like we're literally like we're holding on for dear life to be able to have the freedom to transact. There's all these different laws that are being passed and these initiatives being passed, and NFT Twitter is like they're just like floating.
yeah,
Literally.
And I'm like, I'm watching, and I'm like watching from afar. I'm like, I get it, but at the same time, like, this impacts you too. Like, like an NFT is a unique token that lives on the blockchain.
Well, and what got me into NFTs was the community and the way people came together, and it was a way to grow and bond and meet new people, and we're all like one. And now it's just kind of like
the whole. Then that's the thing is like the NFT community absolutely adore them. I got my first NFT I think in 2019.
Oh, wow.
I primarily like NFTs because of the music aspect, because you actually get ownership, which to me it's absolutely crazy why we're not supporting the more real artists in the industry, because that's the whole purpose of it, not for the 10,000 generative stuff. Like those are cool, because if you buy one, you get to go to this cool party and look great, fantastic. But I want to see the industry kind of try to shift.
Yeah.
It's like I just thought it was so crazy. It's like everybody's like the way that they're attributing community is if you have like $10,000 to spend on an NFT.
Right.
Yeah.
And I get it, but at the same time, I'm like.
And not all the community members are held in the same regard. Like some are held to a higher, they like get preferential treatment and things like that. And then a lot of times, like for someone like me, I can buy maybe 2 or 3 or 4 of an NFT, but I'm not going to be holding 20, like, and really that's kind of where their threshold is. Like, you're not really getting perks unless you're holding like 20.
Well, yeah,
and
ridiculous. And real, like, what are the perks of? Like,
right.
I mean,
What are the perks? Yeah.
I think that there is valuable use cases for that type of token gated experience. I get it, but at the same time, like if community is our main marketing point, or branding, or our pitch,
Yeah.
like what like most people we're in a damn recession right now, like a damn near depression, and people are arguing over having like this $10,000 JPEG that, like, what good is what good is it doing? So I get kind of confused at that. I'm like, are we really here for the community, or are we just here to fill your treasury so y'all can have another party? And again, that's fine, that's their business, but at the same time, like,
I think we definitely support kind of generally the wrong people in this space, where it's like, it's sad to see, because I've seen a lot of people, as I'm sure you, like, who like want to give up, and they're like authentic, like genuine artists, but like they're not getting the attention because it's not a quick money grab. And like,
yeah, and I think, I mean, one of the things I am seeing more, as far as music goes, I am seeing more people kind of collect that stuff, which is good, like, hello. But at the same time, I'm like, we're not where we need to be yet, and we've got a little bit of ways to go.
now where do you see, like, I guess like the next 5 years of this space developing in terms of like trying to get the like mainstream adoption that we all kind of are preaching about?
So I think music NFTs will be a big threshold for that. Pudgy Penguins has done an amazing job at everything that they're doing. Like, I remember when people were mad about like the Walmart toys or whatever, and I'm thinking to myself, like, you guys are so completely out of touch with reality. Like, the fact that they have these toys, that the owners have the control of the IP, that they're able to make a little something on it. People can actually buy these toys because they're like $5-10. Like, that might be all that somebody has to offer their children this year for Christmas, just because of the financial state America's in. So that was really cool. Like, that's absolutely amazing. And I said music NFTs, and I really think like the gaming sector too, but it has to be done correctly, because things are just still pretty hard to use, and we want to make sure that it's a lot easier. So hopefully, but again too, it's like we're not paying enough to regulation and advocating. And we had, I think it was, who was it? They're trying to, I forget what court case it was, or what lawsuit with the SEC it was, but they're basically trying to say, in the lawsuit, I think it was a Coinbase lawsuit with SEC, they were trying to say that sneakers are a security now, or something along those lines.
Because you could trade sneakers
Because
to make a profit.
Exactly. So that's why I try to advocate, and I post all this stuff, and that's why I don't get a lot of interaction on it, because people are like, I don't want to hear that old lady talk about that, which is fine. But really, at the end of the day, like, if we don't do something now, you're not going to have your community.
Biggest thing with regulation is, right, we don't fight for regulation, so then who does? JP Morgan fights for it, and you've got BlackRock fighting for it, and you've got all of the people that we don't want fighting for regulation, and they have the closed door meetings while we just sit and watch it all unfold and get told what our regulations are.
Well, that's what people don't understand, is like NFTs are supposed to be, like, NFTs allow you to own an asset. They could represent a tangible asset. And Bitcoin allows you to own your own money, because it essentially represents, your money. That's what it is. And people don't understand that. They don't understand like how kind of serious it is right now, but whatever. We advocate, we do what we can do on the channel, and hopefully other people will too.
Now with like gaming tokens, are there specific ones like you think have a bright future currently?
I don't like to talk about specific projects. Like, I do have partners, and there are projects that I do believe in that I hold, and the reason why I don't like to do that is because I don't want somebody to, like, on my show it's easy. It's like, oh yeah, because like we'll talk about X, Y, and Z. I'll be like, yeah, I'm holding this, and blah, 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 blah. It's easier to disclose. But, and then plus two, like, by the time this airs, somebody might be like, oh, I'm going to go buy that. And then it,
Right.
But the stuff, and we've been preaching about ordinals and NFTs and BRC20 systems and like the gaming stuff. And I've told my audience, like, focus on these different ecosystems, because there's a lot of really cool things happening, and you don't want to miss out. But at the same time, you're going to have to educate yourself. I'll explain to you with the basics how this works, but got to do some work.
Yeah, I think that's important too, because people are so used to like YouTubers, like Twitter callers, whatever. Buy this right now. This is gonna 1000x, when it's like, and then people don't actually learn how to do their own research, because half the time they don't have to, but then they get effed over because of the.
Well, also too, like, a lot of times, the people there, a lot of those are sponsorship deals, and a lot of times they're given tokens, or they have a vested interest, which is fine. Like, I don't care. I mean, that's what people are going to do. But a lot of people don't understand, like, especially with a lot of the meme coins. Like, if you look at the charts, they all look at the same. You'll see that small accumulation period where people are buying, and then these things pump, and then you'll see kind of the sell up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And then it's just kind of riding a little trend while they continue to kind of like sell every little time it pumps.
yeah, that's why I tell people, like, on pre-sales or on meme coins, like, if you don't get in fast, just forget it. Like, move on to the next.
Yeah. I definitely try and stay away from like tokens and shilling coins and things like that, unless it's something that I feel like I have like a knowledge of the infrastructure behind, or I understand what it's all about, because I do feel a little weird about putting my reputation on the line, even though like my reputation isn't anything like, but you will actually tell people when you're going to make a purchase sometimes. And I'm like, that is something that is really rare too. Is like I've actually seen you say, okay, this is where I'm looking. And
I think that was with Algo, because on the show, like, we pulled a chart up. I was like, oh, this looks fantastic. This is like totally bottomed out, and this is where I'm going to accumulate. I'm going to buy some, and I did, and I'm still up, and I'll continue to hold it for a little bit longer until we're in crazy bull market. But I'll do that every once in a while.
I like that you knew that it was Algo, so I know that you were telling the truth. You did buy it.
I did. I have it. I can show you.
I love you, Wendy. You are so solid. Like, can we have more of you in the space? Like,
I don't know if you need more loud, like a loud heffa in the space.
So kind of closing off, for people who might not necessarily be in the crypto space and who are like still like generally skeptical about like all of the stuff they hear on the media, what would your, I guess, advice be to them in terms of like looking into crypto as well as the future?
Well, the first thing I would say is, how do you like the current state of the American economy? Do you like how much you're paying for groceries? Do you like gas prices? Do you like the cost of living? Well, if you're upset about any of those things, then you might want to consider looking at a different system. And then I might even say, tell me about your 401k. Has your 401k increased in the last 10 years, in the last 5 years? Is that something that upsets you? Well, then maybe you do want to take a look at Bitcoin, or maybe you do want to, read the white paper and whatnot. So and one of the things too, when I first started out, when I would first talk to people, I would get to know them. And then when they would say, okay, well, I work in real estate, or I work in banking, or whatever it is, and I would kind of find a solution for one of the problems in their industry, and then it would click, and they'd be like, oh, that's super cool.
Right.
So I guess, yeah, for me, if I had one more question, it would be for like females or just people, content creators in general in the space. Like, what do you have, what can you give for somebody that's just trying to start in crypto, or if maybe they're like on the fence about like actually doing a career in crypto?
The thing about having a career in crypto, you need to make, before you have so any successful entrepreneur, you should always have a savings. I mean, you can still have your regular business or your regular job or whatever it is, but you should have a savings. And you should plan, and with crypto, we're volatile, so we have the massive upswings and the downswings and stuff like that. So it's important to plan for that, and you shouldn't think that you're going to be able to go full-time soon, or have like $10,000 in your bank account, I'm going to go full-time, because it's just really not realistic. It's really, really not. I think it's irresponsible to say that. But what I will say, it's okay to have a job. It's okay to have a side hustle, and it's okay to do whatever it is you want to do in crypto. But if you do want to become a content creator, consistency is important. It took my channel really like 4 or 5 years to start really taking off. I think, or maybe 2 or 3 years. I don't remember right now. I don't remember right now. No, about 2.
And were you every day for that long? Every day. Wow.
Almost every day. I'm on Twitter every day, Instagram, all kinds of stuff. But like with YouTube, their algorithm works differently. So if you want to do this full time, you have to show up every day. Consistency is key. And now we've got like TikTok and all these other platforms
that are also pulling. Yeah.
So, if you want to do this, that's great, but you're going to have to put effort into it. Because it was so funny. I was going through my YouTube people I was subscribed to, and there's people that haven't posted in 4 or 5 years, or 2, 3 years.
Wow.
That were on my show or different things like that. I'm like, that sucks. Like,
they just fell off.
They just fell off. They just stopped.
You just take a break for whatever reason and don't start again. Yeah. Yeah.
No, there's no breaks.
Yeah. Well, that's what when you first got here, we talked about you being sick, and you said you show up every day.
You have to.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
That's it. We got to show up every day if we want to be successful, guys. There's no shortcuts. So.
Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and thank you so much, Wendy,
thank
you guys for being here.
I appreciate it.
Thank you guys. We'll
for
see you in the next
episode
one.
13 of Degen Divas.
I'm Deb.
I'm Julie.
See you in the next one.
Bye.